Here we go again. As predicted, Keir Starmer, the Labour leader, has finally announced his plans to review Brexit and essentially reverse the Brexit deal. Oh, I am so shocked and surprised, guys. We knew that was going to be the plan anyway, but Keir Starmer has come out to give us more details. By the way, when I say more details, this is the Labour Party standards details. It's basically a two-sentence quote saying, I would like to review our relationship with the EU and we're going to get closer. All right, so in this video, we're going to explain exactly what's been happening over the last few hours when it comes to Keir Starmer's tour of European countries. Because the guy's obsessed with trying to be seen as a statesman right now. And it's not just Europe, he's also going around the world, Canada and everywhere else. And don't be surprised if he somehow ends up in Central Africa for some reason. But he is now talking about getting us closer to the European Union. And we have also some reaction from Nigel Farage later in this video. I'm going to show you what he has also said. But he was in Canada, Keir Starmer. Obviously, why not? As if we don't have enough problems in the country here. He's going around hanging out with Justin Trudeau. And speaking in Canada, Keir Starmer vowed to review Brexit by 2025, because 2025 is basically the deadline. Well, is the beginning of the time frame for the Brexit deal to be reviewed by both sides. That was the idea behind it, and also that is I believe that is exact date as well, or around the same date for the fisheries deal, the transition period. A lot of people forgot about that we have been under a transition period for the fisheries as well. But that's a good news, because that means the transition period will be ended and we will finally take control of our British waters. Finally. So right now we don't really have full control. So Starmer in Canada with his Liberal friends talking about getting closer. He said, as we go into 2025, we, as in the Labour government, will attempt to get a much better deal for the UK. What does that mean? He says, a closer trading relationship. The whole point of Brexit was for us to move away from the EU. Rightly or wrongly, some people don't like Brexit. Some people want to be closer, but the whole vote was to leave, to get away from it, not to get closer. What's the point of voting for something if you're going to do the exact opposite? So he says, I'm not officially going to rejoin the EU, but we're just going to find a way to get us closer. Do you know what that means, right? I'm sure he does know what it means. The guy is very forensic, as you guys know. He told the Financial Times, Starmer, that we have to make it work. Okay, that's not a question of going back in, but I refuse to accept that we can't make it work. I think about those future generations when I say that. Oh, he's so caring. He says, I say that as a dad. I've got a 15-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl. Are you advertising? What's going on? I'm not going to let them grow up in a world where all I've got to say to them about their future is that it's going to be worse than it might be otherwise have been. Okay. I've got an utter determination to make this work. He's way too emotional to be a political leader, but well, here we are. Some people are supporting Keir Starmer right now. He's going up in the opinion polls. The country is getting ready for Prime Minister Starmer. I'm so excited. It's so bad. Now, the Tories are preparing the attacks on this, rightly so, by the way, because it's absolutely idiotic. Look at this. Now, this poster will directly show exactly what we're dealing with. Starmer backed Remain, a second referendum and freedom movement. Don't forget that. And then in December 2020, he said, the Labour Party will not seek major changes to the UK's relationship with the EU. That's what he said. And then in 2023, basically this week, today, Labour will seek major rewrite of the Brexit deal, Keir Starmer pledges. Now his latest short-term vision is a complete rewrite of Brexit. Keir Starmer and Labour want to take Britain back to square one on Brexit. He's going against his own policy. I mean, I'm not exposing him. I'm not really saying he should do something else. He's going against what he said he was going to do. He's destroying himself. Nigel Farage reacted. Nigel Farage said, 2 years into a Labour government, it will be Brexit in name only. The Tories have made it easy for them by not diverging enough. That's actually a good assessment, because the Tories, the way they did the Brexit deal, by not making it more concrete. Even right now, obviously, we have Northern Ireland being part of the European Union, essentially. So we could say, if you're in Northern Ireland, that is Brexit in name only. And those who are, they care about technicalities and all these thousands of EU laws are still in place without being amended or removed, they could say, again, it's already Brexit in name only. But Nigel Farage is talking about on a literal sense. So we do have Brexit, literally. But 2 years into Labour government, yeah, that will actually turn into Brexit in name only completely. So if you even get closer to the single market, I know, again, as I said, Northern Ireland is already close to the single market, it's inside, but the rest of the UK, then we're going to have bigger problems on our hands, because this will be the beginning of the end for, it's not for Brexit, it's for self-determination and democracy. You could disagree with the decision of the general public for voting to leave the EU. You could have your own opinion, but that was a decision that was made. Ideally, I don't like referendums, national referendums, unless it's on a very deep constitutional level. I like direct democracy on a local level, decentralization, but I don't really want to have referendums. I would have preferred if you had a political party like UKIP, where UKIP didn't have the support. One of the main two parties at the time to put in their manifesto, if you vote for us, if we get a majority, we will leave the EU as a policy. I would have preferred if we lived in a country like that. But there was a massive disconnect between Parliament and the general public. That's why we had to have a referendum. It was supposed to be a rare option. Don't just randomly have national referendums on random things, because you're not going to get the results you expect. Some people who want to bypass Parliament when parliamentarians are terrible, they say, well, let's just have a referendum on this. You will be surprised how many times you're going to lose those referendums that you think you're going to win. That applies to all sides. I'm not really saying any specific referendums. It's not really a good idea to do that, and it's going to create more divisions. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.